to go up against a very odd no duelist comp with a Viper, with a Sky, with a Brimstone as well. There's going to be a lot of adaptations we need to see Rise make right off the rip.
Yeah, Soniqs, they almost lost with this comp last time. I forget who it was against, but they were struggling. And I think part of that was when they lost a lot of defensive rounds. This comp is very, very defense-sided. It's definitely a struggle on attack because you don't have a Jet or a Raze to make space. You have to rely on Plix and just a hell of a lot of smokes to make something happen. We'll have to see if they're able to do that, but we are into map number 2. Rise down a map. They lose here. They're out of contention. The Soniqs would be on to the grand finals. We'll have to see, can they continue on? Have they reset enough? It's a pistol round. Soniqs on the attack, and they look ready for a C hit, Max.
Already poking their way on forwards a little bit more. We don't see any sort of Sentinel utility being used onside of C's entrance, excuse me. Poise, though, on the back towards CT side. The Viper Ball is going to go up and blocking all lines of sight for this said for this said Omen. Not being able to push up though. Physical wall goes down towards the back. Plant underway. One of the fastest ones we've seen so far in this entire tournament. A lot of safety nets too. All still being struggled to break, especially on the pistol round. Weapons are not strong enough to break it down immediately. Derek's able to find the opening pick of the entire second map. Oh, and from here on out, Rise, they're looking to make their way forwards, trying to find these different bodies. Shanks sacrificing themselves to get these picks, able to find one, doesn't get traded out though. Bob and company using that utility. Shanks holding down very stalwartly before being going down themselves. Last two alive on both teams. Trade City, a 1v1 now. Towards the back of the site, looking for those pre-fire shots. Perfect time now to go for it, but Ian still finds the shot at the very end.
Timing on the spike there just unfortunate for Derek, but it was a great hit up from the Soniqs. They had the spike down early and they had all the utility needed for the post plant, but Rise did the exact right thing. In a comp like that, you need to push, get aggressive, shut down the mollies, but Bob and Ian especially really stalwart in their hold, close it out in the favor of the Soniqs, and will they start back up exactly where they ended. And now Rise might have to get a little bit worried, hopefully not too much just yet. They need to make sure their mental's on point. Need to make sure they're reset. All these players are experienced, so I'd expect nothing less, but it's a quick hit towards A with the upgraded weapons.
That's right, taking advantage now of the lackluster weaponry on Rise's side. We already see a full armored Phantom coming on the favor of Ian. No real work as of yet, though. Shanks does have the frenzy, waiting around the corner to strike. The call's been made to back out, go towards B window. Maybe propping themselves towards garage. B could be the way to go. I don't see any Cypher utility on the map. Calypso, though, hiding back physically the back of B. Great quick shot coming out. Bob is going to fall. Viper util no longer a factor. Able to deny all lines of sight. Able to deny movement as well. More trades coming on through. A 4v4 into the post plant. Oh, Mimi, things are not looking good. They have to hurry up a little bit more. More shots coming through. Nothing just yet. Pushing out though, aggressively speaking, it's looking really good for Rise, or it was until the train started coming back. Busy with a double kill, going for the defuse.
He's holding!
So finds it.
No way. How did Soniqs lose? Well, there's the Molly crunch. A bit late on that, bud. But, oh, that's just unfortunate for the Soniqs. They had the right call, but they didn't really give themselves enough time to establish the post plant. The pressure was always on from Rise. They were hacking away at that wall. They kept the players in close, but then the curveballs made them not realize that there was someone on the spike. Calypso holds down, makes the heroic play, closes out the second round for Rise. That's exactly what they need, Max. That is the confidence booster early on to show them that they're still in this, that they have a great chance. And now they're by, looking stellar.
Now the Cypher utility goes down. B main, C main entrance now. Plix and company, well, these early picks are working out well. Of course, the Vandal's able to take down Crunchy to begin with. Smoke's no longer a factor. And Soniqs, you mentioned it yourself, Mimi. You have to rely solely on Plix now and no smokes to work with for a post plan. This might have to be a whole run and gun endeavor.
Shanks in position here, could get something done against Dizzy Life. Spots him out, dash away. Won't find it. Derek now towards the long. He's in for a Hellfire. Bob has the frag. Viper on the entry. Shanks still in the back site. No tailwind. He has to just fight head to head. Gets Ian off the run. Shouldn't be possible, but he does what it is. Precise gunplay. Doesn't matter when Neptune sprays away for two, but Bob does one better. She's found so much impact in this round already. Looks to close. Calypso towards heaven. Taps away at Dizzy Life. And we'll find Bob. All onto Dizzy. Calypso dies to him, so it's down to the 1v1. Heal at hand, spots out poised. Will jump over. 3 bullets, has the time to reload though. Poised. In close. Head spotted, tap away, crouches down.
30
He
seconds
just
left.
needs to isolate this. That's exactly where he is. The peek out, pre-fire in, but doesn't connect. Poised retreats towards spawn. Stays awkward, swing out. Dizzy shuts down. It's a clutch for the second. Soniqs reply.
Beautiful play there at the very end. It was looking a lot more dire without a Brimstone to go for the execute, but Sonic still made it work. It's a very close call at the end there. All it took was poise, looking at the wrong direction, expecting the Sage to be on south or towards short. Not going to be the case. Now 1-2. At the very least, Rise, well, they already have as many rounds as they got on map 1. Anything from here is a bit of a bonus.
Yeah. I don't know if we... I just realized what you meant by that. I don't know if we call it a bonus if they get more than 1 round and a half. Ooh, Derek.
Beautiful.
Nice shot onto Bob. That's a good start off for the side of Rise. Maybe they... Dog gets me every time. They need to stop doing that. It's so funny. All right. We have to reset ourselves, recenter ourselves, because there's a round at hand here. Shanks has found Crunchy off the Blade Storm. That's a gun down. Calypso's even pushed up as well. Could cut this play off, but they're circumventing him. Going through grass towards B. They'll end C, but remember Calypso. Here's his shot. Here's his chance, but Bob betters him. Now she has position towards long. Can play off those lineups and let's poisonize the spike. He needs to now. Needs to fight this. Spam away. Falls back, so it's a 4v4 retake.
Missing shots could be the end here. Hunter's Fury in retaliation going through the Viper's Pit. All the ults being used now. The ones first collected for the game, and now an attacking Killjoy ult comes out as well. It is just an absolute cake of a nightmare. Shanks has the knives too, but they're all being used at once. A 3v3 for the post plan. Neptune and company still have utility to work with, and the plant hasn't even gone down yet.
Planted.
Holy, you would think it was a perfect opportunity to go for the plant, and they would have made us thought so, but no! Poise too from the back, finds the Killjoy. Neptune comes in from the other side. A sandwich of death, and everyone's taking a bite. Dizzy, the last one alive, tries to go for the spray. Doesn't quite work out the way they had hoped. And hey, look at that, we get to see the bonus.
Alright, well, off the Thrifty, Rise find a second one. This shot early on by Derek was a great start. They get their man advantage, but I thought what was crucial in that round was just that, again, there wasn't time for Soniqs to establish the post plant. That's where they're strong. When they get the post plant, they practically win every time, but the pressure was always on. They weren't allowed to retreat towards long. Shots were found by Rise. Bob didn't have time to use her lineups or anything tricky like that, so we stay even 2-on-2. Rise definitely looking better already. They have guns to work with, but the Soniqs are kind of forcing into this, Max. I find it interesting, but we'll see if they can make anything work.
I'm surprised we haven't seen any aggression going down C from Rise yet, because every single round we've seen
They did it
Soniqs
last
go
round.
towards A. Okay. So they've done it once, and it worked out well for them. I'm surprised we're not seeing it a little bit more often. I guess they want to mix things up a bit,
Yeah.
make sure it doesn't become a complacent opportunity. Speaking of which, though, we haven't seen this in a little bit. Soniqs and company now going towards B. The tripwire force going to detect, and, well, lead to the downfall of Bob. Bob just got flung against the stage wall. Spike's still going to go down, though. No retake in hand. We do see the Sova drone in retaliation, but I am going for a flank of their own, separating so many different lines of sight, but Derek was ready for the draw. Now a 5v4, or 5v3, excuse me. Going on by, Calypso's going to number the odds a little bit more downwards, again with a double kill doing so.
Holding it. Round's
Doesn't
over.
matter. Oof.
Oof, good tripwire there. They didn't clear Calypso's trip. No one was able to shoot it. I'm not sure what happened there, but it leads to an easy death for Bob. And then the Soniqs, they were doing the right thing here by trying to reaggress because they were lacking so much space. Note, if you look at this minimap here, everyone is smoked off towards middle. No one was able to fight in, so they made the right decision to try and force the matter towards garage, maybe get a flank into play, but Rise was prepared for that. They were ready for that tank. They shut it down, and they do find themselves a third off of it. Now, because Soniqs did force into the last round, economy's looking fairly rough. It's just the Sheriffs, a couple other pistols out to play.
Default in hand now from Soniqs. I feel like this is something we haven't really seen a whole lot from them. Even when yesterday they rocked the same comp, defaults weren't really much in the play. Every single agent in the board right now is absolutely crucial for the execute on the attack. Now we do see Bob straying away from the pack, trying to find maybe a shot on the Derek, but both so close, but can't find the angles. Turret goes up, not able to spot Shanks. Oh, maybe it does, but it doesn't matter. It was all bait. Ion's gonna fall regardless. Sentinel utility now off the table for the attack. Pushing on to A, seeming less and less likely. Again, Sheriff only for Crunchy. Forcing back a little bit more. Flix is outside garage, waiting for maybe some sort of aggressive play. It's not going to happen, but B looks like it might be the way to go.
Looks like it. They're trying this again. We'll be able to break Calypso's trip this time. Derek still has shock darts, remember him. See if he can do it again. Frenzy spam away. Needs a frag here. Finds two. Maybe a third. Derek, no way he gets that many. Soniqs now reeling. Just Dizzy Life. It was an eco, but still. Derek should have been able to do that. That shouldn't have been a chance. Dizzy won't even find one. It's 4 left alive for Rise to find their 4th on the board.
Line them up, knock them down. 3K for Derek. Really helps solidify the eco. Oh, hey!
And line him back up. And knock him back down again.
Oh, beautiful. That spray transfer honestly should have gotten Dizzy as well. I'm surprised it didn't.
Unlucky.
Our producer is gloating that he has the power to reverse time like Thanos. Reality can be what I want.
Thank you, Flippy. Alright, well, well, we have a bit of a better game on our hands. Rise actually managing to pull ahead. They recovered from their misgivings. Hunter's Fury up for Derek. Finds a tag. That's going to kill Crunchy as well. Unlucky for the Brimstone. Neptune aggressing some space. Now he realizes there's man advantage, so we'll chill out with this play. Still spots one. Good intel. Soniqs have Seekers. They need a frag, though.
Yeah, and this has been a problem for Soniqs for the last few rounds. Opening pick goes up against them. More often than not, the Brimstone too. Losing Crunchy that early on. Again, no smokes to work with. No entry for Duelist to work with either. This might be a small little flaw in the plan. If you lose the smokes right off the rip, you have to rely solely on Plix. And now pushing towards C Long. Dog gonna help out a bit. Able to off-put Shanks' position a tiny bit more. Flash. Not gonna stall too much. Upwards position now for Shanks. Could find the shot. Unable to do so as we see the rotate off in mass exodus.
I thought he had the shot for a second there. Doesn't happen. Neptune in good position here towards short to work something. Dizzy recovers Crunchy from the grave. Neptune trying to push up here, spamming away, but he's overwhelmed. Iron has the flank out. 2 frags for him on the entry. This round has been turned on its head. Shock darts for Derek, bit too early. Spike not coming down. The Seekers come out, and what damage is dealt onto Bob doesn't matter. Should plant
Seeker?
towards the God spot. This is going to be really hard to work back into. Look at the ults. Brimstone ult up. Plus
KJ
5
ult.
mollies. Yeah.
Whoa. 5 mollies, you know what? I didn't even consider that. This is a post-plant nightmare for Rise. Already down 2 bodies. Lack of coverage on angles. Able to find at least one. Give her life and death. Gone. Able to find some more. Leveraging the odds back in their favor. The last 2 though alive have ults to work with. Still some mollies. Oh no, there you go. The early one. Able to find the trade. Sure, Shanks going down. Derek following up. A 1v1 now. Crunchy. Last one left. Needs to stall it. And he's able to do so. A 4v2 in the favor of Crunchy now. Bringing things back. Nearly a tied game.
Ooh, Crunchy showing up when he needs to. The man in the clutch. They had to pull out both of their, like, emergency measures. Lockdown had to go out. Crunchy's ult had to go out. His molly was too late. And he had to just rely on the gun skill. That was impressive from Rise. Started off strong with Shanks getting an opening pick. They just find their way into sight. And Soniqs, you can see that this is a new comp to them. You can see that they're not fully ready for this. You can see that there's still some things they need to work out. And maybe in these little mistakes being made, it's a chance for Rise. It's an opportunity for them to take us to 3. Maybe even take us to the grand finals.
Ooh.
It's time for the Soniqs. Reassessment towards C. There's 2 men ready, including Rise. I'm sorry, Poised rather. Up on the off angle.
Have to see now what the response can be. A little bit more pressure being put on C Long. Upon realizing though, maybe it just won't work. Garage could be the factor. We haven't seen that happen a whole lot these last few rounds. Some control being made by the Phoenix. Neptune, of course, rotating back onto the site. I think the re-rotate to A might be the play here. Ian, of course, trying to find a little bit more flank potential. Oh, Shanks good for 1. We see the odds coming back in full force.
Here's the lurk.
Pulling a Randy Savage.
And does this a lot. Yeah, first time we see him do it. Now Poise is trying a play of his own. Catches off Dizzy Life. Trade not an option. Murder committed into the escape car. He gets out. Calypso's here ready to play off the trip. Has the support of Neptune. Profile ready. Ian needs something. The timing doesn't work out. Throws the molly. Neptune swings. Kills him. Poised up top. This is time to shine. Gets the first. It's Calypso to spray away Crunchy. 5th on the board for Rise.
I love the adaptation coming out from Rise. I think at the beginning, first few rounds, they played a little too over-aggressive on the defense, right? They were poking out of A-long, trying to find those opening picks. Now the only person on their team doing so is Shanks, and at most, they're aiming their op down bottom of sewers and finding the opening pick almost every time. Soniqs, well, there's not much of a response coming out of it. Again, they're a glass cannon comp right now. A single member goes down, it's going to severely hurt the push onto the site, and that's the big worry with them. So losing those opening picks in the beginning, definitely not the best place to be. Shanks again, pushing up a little bit more on A-long. Opening pick goes in their favor twice over. Maybe make it 3, and it's able to succeed. Getting out of there right in the nick of time. 2 left alive, one of which already half health. Crunchy pushing forwards, knows the round's probably already over. Shorty kill to confirm. Now double the points over Soniqs.
Nice one out of Rise. They keep this momentum going in their favor. Shanks' operator play has been really strong. Similar to what we were seeing out of Dizzy Life in that first game, but the money hasn't really ever been there for the Soniqs to pick up an op of their own, and this comp doesn't play well to it. When you're already spamming out smokes, not the best to create those lines for opping. I feel like the Soniqs might want to slow things down a little bit here. They've been trying these straight-up executes, haven't been working, because Rise knows that they just want to play into the post plant. They just want that spike down, so Rise isn't really playing retake. They're fighting the sites, they're winning those duels, and I think another issue is that Plix is struggling. 0-9 right now, isn't able to find his usual impact. We need to see him pick things up a little bit more, but Calypso has another opener for Rise, and there's even a push down C long from the Jet. That's Shanks. Chance here, Dizzy holds. He needs his frag. Shanks doesn't want to overcommit though.
Yeah, a little bit of a waddle on forwards in the stage. Not... Oh, they're toying with death right now. The bottom of C. Waddle. Maybe able to do it. Shanks still holding a very stalwart angle. No one can get past, apparently. Only good for one shot, though. The rest of Soniqs, they're trying to posture their way, almost bait towards A side here, dragging some bodies along, but the Sage decides to back off. Making sure all is well. Shanks doesn't need to move. Shanks doesn't want to move. It's forced to go to A. Now we do see some aggression. Oh, Neptune good for 1, maybe good for 2, and again, Plix is gonna fall. So much of the entry denial coming into play. Only 2 left alive now for the attack. Forced down to A-long, retrieving the spike, unable to find any shots. The firewall goes up. There's 30 seconds left, meaning it's 2-1.
They've been holding this default, but they haven't found the isolated duel. Shanks in position, swings out, misses the shot, doesn't matter though. Ian should be dead to right, he's poised up top, drops the spike, drops the round. 7th on the board now for Rise. That's... they tried to slow things down there, but the thing is that they didn't have much pressure in the default. Shanks was there, pushed up C-long, but he was never discovered. Always had the information that it couldn't be a C-take. They also had poised up top mid, always had the information that it couldn't be a mid-take. There was 3 strong towards A, almost that entire round, and the Soniqs never knew. Soniqs were never fully aware, they just got chipped away in 1v1s. Now their economy's reset.
The crux of the intel, too, for Sonic's attack, right, has to come down to the Skybirds. And while they're not the worst thing in the world, right, they do tell you when someone gets blind. We only have 3 of them. It's not like a regenerating recon dart.
Flex normally uses them more aggressively anyway. Oh, Shanks.
Yeah. Oh, Shanks.
Oh, Shanks, what is that? Nice little whiff there. Gives them a chance to stay alive. It's still just the eco though, Max. Dizzy Life up mid with the spike. Maybe they're trying to commit this B play again. They've done it before. It hasn't been working too well for them.
Keep in
mind,
mind,
they're trying again.
Ripple effect too. 1 molly's already been used from the Killjoy. Unable to be using it in a post plan if we do get there. Spike, looking like it's going to go into the ground. Crunchy and company looking for the post plan. Flangs, but unable to do so. Hunter's Fury though going to create so much sight. It's going to be Dizzy the fall instead. Shanks now in the midst of all the goo, looking to find anybody they can. Unable to do so. Blinded completely. May try to re-rotate their way around. Paul, the magical sound of the defuse underway, already at half. The Molly stifling things for a little bit longer. Neptune and company trying to push on forwards. Did Neptune just not see them? I don't know what just happened there, but 2 bodies are left for the attack. Attempting to hold on tight. Flex unable to do much. Shanks with their triple is going to make it work.
Shanks won that round. They attempted to drop that KJ ult in kind of a weird spot outside garage. Shanks was still holding tight in that area. KJ dies. He breaks the ult, has a perfect flank, finds 2 at the Blade Storm. 15-5 for Shanks already. Man's on a tear. He saw them get 13-1, and he came back with a vengeance. He's been popping off at the op. That was just an eco for the Soniqs, but they did commit 2 ults, so it's a round that hurts for them to lose. Could be staring down the barrel of a 9-3 half.
Yeah, definitely a possibility here, given how things have been going. I want to see another seaside push. This is where Soniqs had some success before. It wasn't by a huge margin, but success nonetheless. Though it looks like, though, the garage push may be the way to go. Neptune and company hiding inside the brimstone smoke. Seekers are out, though. They ignore all smokes. They don't care about any lines of sight. They don't have eyes. Neptune, though, destroying some, are going to push on forwards a tiny bit, but actually, the rest of Soniqs, well, they're going to be going towards B. One body's already going to fall. They'll spike to themselves. Dizzy again goes for the plant. No Hunter's Fury to stop them this time. Calypso, though, up on top, gets blinded out, but attempting to find the shots. Doesn't matter, though, when Crunchy's already a B window, able to do so, Mimi, and look at all the lines of sight denied.
Add out. Oh, Calypso enclosing something here. Shut down by Dizzy. Dizzy adjusts, finds 2 frags. He's still on the site. Derek next up. 1 bullet. It's a classic. Finds it on the right click. Covers a weapon. There's a fight towards middle. Crunchy dies. It's a resurrection up for Dizzy. Poise has to clutch, but he has to line up! No way! Poise finds the ace. Finds 9 for Rise. What in God's name was that, Max?
A beautiful retake, that's what it was. And 9-3, Mimi, you were completely right. You called it perfectly.
Jesus Christ.
Right? Oh.
Poise is popping off.
Even he couldn't succumb to Poise again. Beautiful work overall. The B-side push, at least they got the plant down a few different times on Soniqs' sides. Now, the big question's gonna be, Soniqs have a pretty defensive roster. Now they're on the defense.
Yeah, this is their time to shine. That attacker side, I feel like if we're gonna sum it up to something small, go B, lose.
Yeah.
There were so many rounds. Like, it's a post-plant centered comp, and look how many times they lost in post-plants. 5 defuses came through. Most of those were on B. Just wasn't working, boys. You didn't adjust in time, and now it's 9-3 half down, but Rise, that's not to take away from them, because they played the perfect counterplay. And the individuals stepped up too. That Poise ace to close out the half. Indicative of what Rise is made of. Team with huge players. Team looking to succeed. Don't peek up. Bob sees all, spots all. Molly in to stop it. Rise still maybe looking to reassess.
Having to back off now. Rise needing to re-rotate their way over.
Get Plix.
Oh, this could be Plix's time to shine. They struggled on the attacking half. Maybe able to bring it back on the defense, but everybody on Rise actually gonna ignore the A-Bane push in the lobby. Now, oh, maybe they'll find a bait. Oh, no, unable to find the catch. Instead of flashing themselves, pushing on forward, still able to find Shanks, finds a frag, opening up the entire second half. There's an airplane above me. There's like an airport right next to my house. I don't know why. Anyways, though, Neptune. Oh, that's a lawnmower. Huh. Never mind.
Oh.
Neptune, though, trying to be a lawnmower, wanting to push up and mow the grass down in sewers a tiny bit more, unable to do so. Look how defensive Soniqs are playing. They don't want to take any risks right now in pistol.
I have the man advantage. Chill out. They know they can play into the retake. That's one of the strong suits of this comp. Bob, she has her Viper wall up still, but it doesn't matter. It's the orb. They're pushing straight on through. Damage dealt. Dizzy needs something. Sprays away. Finds 1. Damage still done. Bob in close. Spots out Poise. 3v3. Bob needs to live. She can't die here now without a frag. Right clicks away. Iron another. Last man towards long. It's Derek, and he's not able to even muster a frag. 4th round found for the Soniqs.
Holy, Soniqs being able to find their stride yet again, find their first round in over, what, 5 rounds in a row to end that first half for Rise. Now, 12-10 for Ian, leading the way through the leaderboard. Anything could happen.
Anything
Anything at all.
could happen. This might be 9-5. It's a defensive-sided comp, but Rise is good on the attack. This is Cypher's home ground. This is Calypso's home ground. I expect him to see him just kind of popping off on these lurks. This is one of his strongest maps. Ascent is too. If it comes down to that, it could be a bloodbath. It's been close here already. Bob dinks away Shanks. Damage dealt down to 1 HP. Molly in. Keeps him at bay. This is controlled from the Soniqs. They're not over-aggressing. They're not being overconfident. They're not making mistakes. That's what we need to see from them if we want them to pick up this map, but honestly, I don't. I want to see Rise close. I want a 3rd map, because these 2 teams
And
both seem
Soniqs,
very adept. Yeah.
they've struggled. Chargy, though, holding the tippity top short. 3 different bodies down below. Could be fish in a barrel, or the barrels could strike back. Calypso, of course, leading behind the charge. Crunchy goes on forwards and able to find 1. Train goes by. Dizzy though, still holding underneath. Good for another spray transfer into a second. Could be good.
Oh my
Another one
God!
goes by, clearing it all away. Sonics seem to have found their stride again, playing as defensive as humanly possible. No matter what kind of aggression you have, two duelists, no problem.
Yeah. Like this tournament is like presented by Sheets. This play is presented by Bob. It was the Dizzy Life Classic, but it's Bob's Viper Wall to deal the damage, right? They took 30 going through, already didn't have armor, so everyone is already incredibly low. It's easy for Dizzy to spray away. He's having a banger of a game already. I'm excited to see if he's going to pull out the op on the Sage. A lot of Sages do like to op on this map. I wouldn't be surprised if Dizzy does pick it up eventually. But for now, it's just the bonus round.
Still a bit of another default. This Sage Wall's really being a huge focus for Shanks right now. Double doors, of course, will be broken. Trying to find these shots. Might be able to find it on the Dizzy, depending on how they want to play this, but they might be too far away for an insta headshot. This second half is going to go incredibly slow because both teams want to play very cautiously. Either we see Soniqs again, win it all 2-0, mustering up 4 more rounds seemingly in a row, but the blinds go through, line of sight denial, execute on the beat underway, the plant goes under, could be good, Shanks overextending, doesn't actually want to play zealously. They baited me out for a sec, but the Cloudburst, unsure what Crunchy to do next, only has Sheriffs in hand. Looking around now. Last time we saw B execute, Poise came by on the attack, or on the defense with an ace. Now on the reverse, same needs to be done again. Ian, though, gonna push on forwards, able to find one, Poise is gonna fall, no aces this time around, but a meltdown yet again. Trading back and forth, the Christmas tree in the feed. Christmas has come early, 2 left alive now for Rise. The defuse underway. What's left of the attack need to focus, but no Dizzy's in the way, proving to be a distraction, trying to hold the fort, they're able to do so. Soniqs again take another one.
Plix struggled early on, now he's out to play, now he's ready to step up on the sky. Great retake out of the Soniqs off of those birds especially. Find the frags necessary, even upgrade the weapons. That's a heartbreaker for Rise. These are the rounds they can't be losing if they want to hold strong. Reset completely. Just onto the pistols now. The B hold is really nice for the Soniqs, especially, it's similar to what we saw in A with that Viper wall that runs through both B and A. It's really a great tool in these retakes.
Yeah. So much utility that Soniqs can just throw at the wall in any of these retakes here. Rise, they've been playing for these fast plans so often. I wonder if they should reorient how they want to go for things. Maybe look for the opening pick a little bit more. We do see early cyber cages come by, and Dizzy, well, that's not quite what I was saying, but Dizzy got the job done, finding the opening picks against Shanks, one of 2 duelists to go down. Poise and company, well, they're going to try to mine away the wall. And it seems like there might be some dedication. Poise, the knife wielder, going really hard against the wall, has the spike. If they push on forwards, the audio cues, of course, have been made. Trying to watch for the flank on Sewers, Mimi. I think Rise are just taking the round to really think about what they need to do next.
Look at Soniqs not over-rotating, though. It's just Plix. He's comfortable playing that swing as the sky. They are reassessing here. Pressure towards C, but the spike's towards A. This is just a fake out. Try and pull the rotations back, and Plix has fallen for it. He's reassessed towards mid here. There's utility everywhere, though, so they'll have the early warning signs, but it's Crunchy holding short. He needs to kill Calypso on this push-up, but still just playing in the sky smoke. Poised out on the site, trying to find the shot. Crunchy shuts it down. Another in through the wall. That's Derek to fall, and Dizzy for 3, continuing to spray away, and it's the dynamic duo again. DC Crunchy, hold A, hold the round, and bring the difference down to 2.
A flawless yet again. Getting onto the site may not seem like a bit of an issue, Mimi, but being able to hold on to the site, that's a different story. The only time we've really seen a successful plan as of late for Rise has been on B site.
Yeah. And they haven't been able to hold those post plants. They don't have the same comp as Soniqs does. They cannot be post plant Andes in the same way that the Soniqs were able to, because they need to be fighting. They don't. They only have the hot hands in way of mollies. They only have Cypher and the Paranoia to work off of in those situations. Plix in towards short. I am not directly helping, so Plix a bit isolated here. Could be a 1v1 versus Poised.
Could be a great flash to come out. Holding, waiting for the cues. The reload was heard by Plix, but the back off now going to be in play. Poised is no dummy. He's not going to push that by himself. Soniqs again, not wanting to play aggressive either. Going to play slow, defensive as much as they can.
Yeah, this is what Rise has to do. Bait out utility, play it slow, but Soniqs hasn't really given much away. They still have practically all their util. The only thing they've expended are a couple sky smokes. Crunchy still has his ult if he needs to, considering using it. That's working slowly. Seems to be C-split is the final decision. It's Bob and Crunchy to hold.
Last minute, though. 45 seconds left. No bodies have gone down. Run it back. Utility now being used, trying to cover the site. Denying some pushes, though. Crunchy hiding away. Able to spot out one. The spike wielder goes down into an instant trade. But look at this. The Molly is able to find one. So much utility kills. So many trades yet again. But mostly in the favor of Soniqs. Getting onto the site. Holding the site. A big issue.
That molly was huge from Crunchy. Drops down and the brimstone molly there. That keeps the players from Garage sectioned off. They isolate the duels with the guys long. And then the icing on the cake was that Bob used one of her mollies as well. Doubles the damage. And it's already the highest tick rate molly in the game. Plus the damage of the Viper one. Plus the double. It's basically instant death. And well, they walked right on into it. One player died to it. Damage was done onto the rest. And well, the round allows Soniqs to make this gap even smaller. And with an eco up for Rise, very well could be 9-9, Max.
We saw this happen on Bind as well. Rise may need to use all their ults to get onto the site, but maintaining the site, I'm going to keep harping on it, is the biggest factor here. Already going for a default, no spike in hands of anybody fishing for that opening pick. They have to go in deep. They have to dive in and find the opening pick just like Derek.
Oh, the dog could kill him.
No! Doggy! Oh no! Old Yeller strikes back. 3v3 now. So many utility kills. Only one now with guns. Two goes in the favor of Soniqs. One left alive. Poised got the spike back, but with just a sheriff, you might be able to pick up the Spectre. A huge marginal, I guess, upgrade compared to the sheriff, depending on the distance. Now pushing on forwards. 56 seconds left. Might be able to find the swipe on the one, taking control of C. All that utility from Sky and Brim was already used earlier in the round. No ults to play with. One going for a mass flank. Oh boy, talk about a gigantic pinch. This could be great positioning for Poised. Put the smoke down on CT side. One approaching on C long. He hears the gunshots to his left. He knows Brim is probably up above.
Paranoia.
Paranoia could be huge. There's a flash, one more smoke as well, and a teleport. He has so much to work with here. He's going for a mini flank of his own. Taking advantage, but the knife is out!
Well played to Crunchy. He doesn't over push it, waits for his teammate Plex to push up, is aware that a flank's a possibility after hearing the step in Garage. Ready for it. It was closer than it probably should have been, right? Like, we were too occupied losing it over the dog kill, but, like, they got some nice frags with the lighter weaponry. Unfortunately, it was just a little too fractured. Left Poised, last man to stand. He's good in the clutch, not good enough. 9-9 on the scoreline now, and I just noticed that Bob has 16 assists on Viper.
That's insane. We saw a Breach yesterday with 15. That was pretty good as well. I mean, it's an assist meta right now, I guess.
That's what the Soniqs comp is good at. Set yourself up for success with utility. We see that continuing to be the case. This time, Rise, they're back to their tried and true attempt A, but I say it's tried and true. Well, it's been tried quite a lot. I'm not sure how true it's been. Most of these rounds ending in a loss when they attempt the A site. This has oftentimes come down to Crunchy and Dizzy to hold. Might have to be that again, but the spike's not directly part of this. They are pushing up now. Calypso and Shanks find both on the entry. Left to Dizzy on the site. He's revealed, finds one, maybe a second. Dizzy still fighting. Third opportunity up against Poise, but can't muster it. 3v2 now. Retake on the cards for the remaining players of the Soniqs.
A minute left, and this has been a flawless half for Soniqs as of now. All these diffuses every single time has worked out. Oh no, dog, please. Okay, he lived a nice long life. Doesn't find anybody, but does find some intel, maybe, but the Viper wall is up. With that being said, though, able to find some intel, Poised, trying to go for some pre-fire shots. The high tick rate mollies in the possession of Bob yet again, trying to push up a tiny bit more. Could be able to find something. Toxins are low, having to manage that a little bit more. Plex is going to push on through. Okay, Poised, just not able to find on the other side. Now down below inside of short, maybe good for one. Free Fire's coming on by. Another one in the favor of Rise. They bring another, get double digits, and they take a very small lead.
They had that wall, which is great for the retake, but not when you're already down a player. They didn't have the time to renew those even odds. The push-up was the right call there. Blinds were great to isolate the duel, and Dizzy did his best to hold on to the site, but the double entry, sometimes it's just too much to go up against, and thankfully, for the side of Rise, they recoup. They just finally recover. I mean, it was 6 rounds in a row. It was getting to the point where I was like, why isn't there attack pause? Why isn't there something to stop this? They don't need it. They have their chance. They have their opportunity. And now it's guns on both sides.
And now Rise finding that first round in this half, that could be a momentum changer. Early pre-fire shots from Dizzy yet again. We saw that work successfully just a few rounds ago. This time, not so much. Poise has control, lower sewers, but looks like the smokes are going to come down regardless. That's going to be a bit of a problem. In fact, a lot more smokes are coming out now early game rather than saving it for the mid round. Could be good for stifling off Rise. That might be the adjustment Soniqs needs.
Might be Calypso getting towards long, trying to work with his pressure, maybe consider working the lurk. Dog reclears garage, regains that space. It's Neptune up towards the B site, but there's mollies and a turret here to receive. They're not attempting this. Spike's still down, just playing this default, but the Soniqs aren't giving too much space away. Cloudburst keeps Neptune safe. This might draw a rotate. Iron wants information. Plick's considering one of his own, but A site's a decision.
A worked for Rise once, but keep in mind all the other times it didn't work for them. Some rounds won flawlessly by Soniqs approaching. Push needs to be made now. Shanks finding the entry, able to take over the site, using the recon bow to their advantage, finds the double kill, takes it over. Now having to run away, there is a defending Killjoy ult to worry about. Having to evacuate as much as they can. Iron now, a free site in their control. Good go for the defuse, doesn't waste any time. Now, we should have seen it a while ago, but it finally emerges. Poise going for the flank, having the Omen all in hand. Iron, though, clearing out the back of the site. He's by himself. This is not a good situation to be in, surrounded by the enemies, one in heaven, unaccounted for, unaware, but at the last second saw the pixels and was shot by those very same ones.
Huge double entry there out of Shanks, finds the initial frag on the Crunchy, and then the drone perfect to reveal. The utility almost works against them in that case. Bob's wall isolates the player in towards short, so there was never a refrag opportunity. Great start for Rise. They're up to 11 now, 2 away from closing, 2 away from taking us to Ascent. The Soniqs, well, they got this far in the comeback. They got us to 11-9 half, but now their economy's on the back foot. This is kind of their last stand. Iron has an op. Everyone else has weaponry of their own, but they lose here. They're out of money, likely out of this map.
Yeah, and map number 3 is going to be Ascent too. It's probably, I don't want to say the most even map in the game, but definitely the most Valorant competitive, stable map of the game now. Viper Pit does come up, oozing all over our C long. Be very hard to go through, but it doesn't matter for Rise. They're not going to go close to C. They're taking over, creating space. Invalid kill from Bob's going to take down Poised. But still, the space has been created. Shanks is able to create so much, finding so many different kills. This could be match point right here. Viper Pit's already been used, can't use it anymore. The Seeker merging around, so many kills left and right. Just when you think a team has the advantage, it goes the other way. Bullets colliding against skulls, another one to go down. Calypso good for 2. One more. Iron last alive. Triple kill for Calypso to clear the site.
Match point found up for Rise. That was the Soniqs force buy. Now let's take a look what they can muster. 2 rifles. Probably a 3rd for Crunchy. They're actually going to be able to get everyone up to buy. The loss bonus is built enough to allow that, but the only ult here is a resurrection. I feel like they've kind of been lacking when it does just come down to these 5-man hits. The retakes have been struggling. I'd like to see them get a little aggressive for information because I feel like they're lacking that, right? They have no Sova, no Cypher, nothing that gives it for free, so it has to be pushes for map control. And that's one issue with this composition. It makes it hard for that, and that's exactly what they're set up for. 2 pushing towards mid. Crunchy and Dizzy. What can they get done?
I think your wish has been granted. Dizzy was aggressive on A long for some of these rounds, but never on any of the other sides. This could be the adjustment Soniqs needs to bring it to the double digits of their own. Calypso and company. Oh no, still hiding away. Great bait, you're completely right. Crunchy hiding away now on B, already lit up, is actually able to find a kill in the Poise. That's a great game changer now because there's no longer any smokes except for the cloudburst in the sides of Shanks. This has to force a rotate to C side now. One already waiting down, finds the intel, backs off, Viper util comes up. Molly's now in the control of Bob. She may be able to have full control the whole left side of the map single-handedly. Dizzy now is going to push up, looking for a mini rotate, possibly a flank. Could catch Derek off guard, but they're already posed up and ready. It doesn't matter though when Dizzy finds the shots first. It's all coming through. Soniqs have found their way back, and it's almost a flawless win. 9 health at a dream. Holding down the fort, still with the spike in hand, needs to rotate over to A or B, needs to get as far away as possible, but guess what? They're quite literally boxed in a cage. Viper util ahead of them, Sage walls behind, locked away, imprisoned, if you will, Mimi. Calypso, they're stuck.
Shut down. Boxed like a fish and shot in a barrel. 10th on the board now for the Soniqs. This comeback makes me a little worried for Rise. There's a chance for them. Shanks does have the operator up now. That was the change-up we wanted. Soniqs needed to do something different. They do. Aggression down mid. Never even really had to activate Dizzy Life until his late round flank. Finds a frag off of it. Keeps it almost flawless. The read of the game stellar right now for the Soniqs. Rise, they only have to win one, though. They only have to win one. They have 2 chances to close it in regulation. At least 2 more after that. Neptune fighting towards mid.
Soniqs in this tournament are not strangers to overtime. A very, very long
God,
amount of
no.
overtime.
They just had 3 maps in a row of it.
So I'm wondering, are we going to see that? Well, we didn't see the 13-1 go to overtime. But Rise, I mean, they're doing a really good job right now. They're up ahead. They need one more. You're completely right. And Soniqs, they've been playing so defensive for so long, but that aggression did work out until it didn't. Neptune, though, playing by themselves, no trade potential. Calypso's going to inch their way forwards a bit. Cyber Cage out, making the line of sight denial in their favor. No one's going to push up, but the Molly comes out from Ian instead. All that utility nulled out. They have to rotate.
They got to, right? They're cutting noise. They could still re-exec this, but look where Plix is. Tucked in short, has his bird ready. That's information early on. And Ian has the jump peek. Even if they're re-execing here, the information will be given early. Ian should already know. Should be ready for the call. Bob has her wall up.
Oh
So
no!
much is on the Killjoy. Wall drops. Timing on that, not good for Ian. Shanks finds the shot with the operator. Plix still in short, needs something here. Out comes the Brimstone ult. He needs one. No, Calypso ready. Through the wall, doesn't matter. 5 on 3 now.
It's up to
Retake on
Crunchy.
the cards. There's a resurrection available. Crunchy. Molly in, his head almost showing, needs the shot, can't find it. It's Derek instead. 2v5. Bob falls. Dizzy, last man. To close it here, to close it in overtime, he isolates Shanks. Finds the duel, they're pushing together. They're fighting him, Calypso jiggling, making himself a nuisance, making himself troublesome, but still found. Shock dart in the face. Down to 18, there's a flank coming through from heaven, resurrection up, and that's the last chance that he gets. It's Bob dying just a formality.